Hello, everyone. A very, very, very good evening to each and every one of you present over here. I hope you all had a great morning, a great afternoon, and I wish everyone, a very great evening as well. Right, today being the 8th of November, being a Friday, being the end of the working week, I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys and girls would be prepared to enjoy for the upcoming weekend, right? But nonetheless, like I always say, we have these live streaming sessions where Harsh will provide you with vital analysis, right? Which is pertaining to technical analysis, education perspective, right? So I hope everyone is present, and let's start today's live streaming session. Let me start by a quick introduction about myself. I am Harsh. I have 8 years of experience trading the financial markets, correct? 8 years. I mainly trade the forex pairs as well as certain commodity pairs such as gold, oil, silver, as well as US indices, right? We have the S&P 500, the Dow Jones 30, and the Nasdaq 100. Currently, we also are analyzing the Indian share market, right? We analyze the Indian indices such as Nifty and Sensex, as well as analyze individual Indian stocks as well. I am more of a technical trader, correct? So I am experienced in technical analysis. When it comes to technical analysis, there are various aspects. It's a huge and vast ocean when it comes to technical analysis. There are hundreds and if not thousands of techniques in terms of analyzing the the markets based from a technical analysis point of view, but I specialize in various technical analysis such as supply and demand, price action, Fibonacci retracement, order flow, swing analysis, right? Harmonic wave progressions, and so on. So I hope people are understanding that yes, a person with 8 years of experience with a focus in technical analysis has been providing consistent information regarding our previous live streaming sessions as well. I have been blessed in terms of being mentored by some of the brightest minds when it comes to the financial markets. I have been mentored by people who used to work as floor traders back in the days when people used to trade on the floor shouting, like buy, sell. They used to. I hope people have watched many Bollywood movies, right, where they would showcase certain figures trading on the floor. So I had mentors who used to be working as floor traders on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And I have been fortunate enough, I have been blessed to receive their experience and their expertise when it comes to trading, as well as I have been successful in handling more than 20 million worth of portfolio, right? And have been able to generate around 30 to 35% returns on a yearly basis. The reason we are showcasing or letting you know is to understand that the right people with the right set of qualifications with the right set of experience as well as expertise are here, to provide you vital information. Correct? I can see Sophia in the chat house. Good afternoon, Sophia. It's not good afternoon, it's good evening. Correct? It's already 5 o'clock Indian Standard Time, but nonetheless, I guess everyone is, just waiting for the weekend to start so that they can spend time with their family, friends, relatives, boyfriends, girlfriends, children, grandchildren. So let's start about looking at, Sophia also writes the overall market tends to perform poorly on Fridays. Yes, Sophia, the reason is simple because Friday being the end of the week, for the week. Remember, the markets open on Monday and they conclude on Friday. So when the market concludes for that particular week, there is generally, an uncertainty in terms of what will Saturday and Sunday hold. In terms of understand, when the markets are closed on Saturdays and Sundays, that does not mean that the operations or the economy is closed, right? The economy still functions. There are still transactions taking place. There are still, meetings or management committee meetings taking place. So Saturdays and Sundays, though the markets are closed, but with the anticipation of what, the markets might do on the next Monday, right? The upcoming Monday of the next week. That is why the markets on Fridays, they generally are, they create a lot of fluctuations. They create or they perform poorly. Correct? So I hope, Sophia, that answers your question. Let me start by asking you a simple question. How many people are thinking or think that they can make money in the financial markets? Make sure the interaction that we need to have has to be based on you writing in the chat box, right? Remember, we are hosting these live streaming sessions, but it is of vital importance for us, especially for Harsh, to know that yes, people are reciprocating, people are able to understand, and people are able to interact with me as well, correct? So, how many people think they can make money in the Indian share market, right? If you think you can make money, you can type one in the chat box. And if you think that you do not know or you're not sure or you think you cannot make money in the markets, write two. But I'm pretty sure, based on the responses that we have been getting on a regular, on a daily basis, it is quite clear that many people, they know the potential of the share market, the Indian share market, but they are skeptical when it comes to not having education, not having the right analyst or mentor to, provide them with education, to provide them a path, a structure to follow based on which they can enter and close trades and make money, right? Make profits. Do not worry, the share market is closed for today, but it is of vital importance to make you understand that we hold these live trading sessions all the way from Monday till Friday, right? And I personally makes sure to provide you with three live streaming sessions. The first live session that takes place in the morning around 1 to 2 hours after the market has opened. The second live streaming takes place 1 hour before the English share market closes, and the third live streaming takes place once the market has closed for the day, and we shift our focus towards analyzing the markets, right? And even talking about our true potential when it comes to the forex and gold markets, right? So there are a lot of topics that we will be covering for today's live streaming session, correct? A quick look. The main purpose of us having these live streaming sessions is for you to see, to analyze, and to, see it for yourself, see it with your own eyes that yes, the trade recommendations, the hot stocks that we are able to provide on a regular basis with consistent profitability has been, commendable right from 18th till today, 18th of September till today, the 8th of November. We have been sitting at the profitability of 135% on a span, right? Not just one or two trades, but with around 34 trades and in less than 2 months. So you are getting, a lot of benefits. You're getting a lot of value for this. Sophia is also writing. why has the overall market been continuously declining? Sophia, as you know, still there is a lot of uncertainty in the markets, correct? Uncertainty around the world, not just in the markets, but across the globe. We have geopolitical events, we have the foreign investment institutions who are pulling out funds from the economy. We have the domestic investment institutions who are not able to flush the economy with the money that is being sucked out of the economy by the FIIs, and because of poor quarterly earning reports, right? The results that are being declared by companies. So there is a lot of uncertainty in the markets. Yes, you are correct, right? As you can see on the screen, right now this is the Nifty, right? So Nifty is the index of the Indian economy, right? It is overall a barometer, it is a measuring tool for us to understand how the markets are performing. So currently, looking at the index, looking at it from an overall perspective, the prices right from, let me put a line, right from the last couple of days of September, right? So we can almost consider October. So the entire month of October has been quite this thing bearish, right? So let me draw the line with a correction of almost around 9%, right? Let me type it out for that quickly. 9% correction in 1 month, right? Almost, give or take, on like approximately in 1 month you have a 9% correction. So yes, there has been bearish sentiment, geopolitical events going across the world, FIIs pulling out funds from the economy, poor quarterly earning reports being declared by the company. So a lot of factors have been responsible for having the bearish sentiment in the markets, correct? The stock market has been declining for a month. Exactly, Sophia. This is the entire point and the reasons that I have mentioned. Is this a bear market now? Now, okay, let us understand that also. And let me explain to Sophia as well. Is it a bear market now? Now, as you can see, remember, I'm looking at the Nifty so that I can give you an overall general perspective of how the economy is performing, correct? Could you elaborate on your stock selection logic? Yes, Sophia, we will talk about that as well. First, let me come back to your question of whether it is a bear market or not, correct? Now, when you look at the entire economy, yes, the correction is taking place. As mentioned, it's a 9% correction in 1 month. But please understand, when it comes to the economy of a country that is doing quite well, you are going to have phases where the markets are, either sideways. Let me just draw it out. You're going to have phases in the markets where the conditions are either going to be sideways. You might have a little bit of bearishness also coming, right? Now let me zoom in and show you. So during such phases, right? I mean, I'm just showcasing you as an example in terms of how the markets behave. The markets can travel only in three directions, irrespective of whether it is Nifty, whether it is like an index like Nifty, whether it is a stock like Reliance or Tata, whether it is a forex pair like euro dollar, or whether it is a commodity pair like gold. The markets can only travel in three directions, right? It can be bullish, it can be bearish, or it can be sideways. So right now, even based on the Nifty, during the period of October 2023, there was significant bearishness, right? Now people who were looking at it from the point view of October 2023, they was expecting a bearish sentiment. And yes, there was bearish sentiment, right? For almost around 9 days. But eventually, since it is representing the economy, the health of an economy, there might be corrections. But overall, yes, as of now, it is bearish sentiment. But after the bearish sentiment comes in the bullish sentiment, right? So once a bearish sentiment concludes, the bullish sentiment initiates. And that is exactly what we might be expecting as of now as well. Yes, it is a huge correction nonetheless, but overall, Based on geopolitical news, based on FIs pulling out funds, there is bearish sentiment. But hopefully, since it is the economy of a country, maybe around the 24 area mark, if prices break the 24 area mark, I hope people can see the screen. So the 24 area mark approximately is somewhere around where the arrow is. Let me just mark it, the 24,000 mark, right? If prices close below that, then there is going to be more uncertainty. There will be more fear in the markets, correct? If prices are going below the 24,000 mark, but for prices, if they are able to hold where they are currently right now, if prices are able to hold and go higher, then there is chances for prices to go back higher. So I hope I'm showing it to you from both perspectives. If price is closing below the 24,000 mark, then there will be more onset of bearishness. Why? Because there will be more fear in the markets. Oh, now the markets are going below. But as I said, if the prices are able to hold this support, which is the 24,000 price level, there will be higher probability for prices to continue up. All right. I hope people are able to understand that. All right. So now Sophia is also writing. Could you elaborate on your stock selection logic? Okay. Now let's look at the stock selection logic. All right. Let me make sure I've deleted everything. Okay. Now, for those people who are asking what is stock logic, I mean, what is the stock, or what is, how do you, organize, and how do you structure? Let me first show that. These are trades that have been placed, right, in terms of technical and fundamental analysis. Yes, Sophia, we will be elaborating more on this also. And these are trades that are closed, right? Now, how are we, analyzing? Let us pick an example. Let us go back to trading view. Okay, let us look at, for example, D Dave Plastics, right? I hope people who have been attending my live streaming sessions, to all those I want, and who have been taking trades, who have been following us and taking our hot stock ideas, our trading strategies. I mean, a very big congratulations to all who are making money. For people who are not, please make sure to attend all our live streaming sessions where we provide you with hot stocks. We provide you with trading opportunities to make money, where we tell you where to enter and where to close your trades, right? So people who have been following us have been making good amount of money. Now coming back to how we, how we are elaborating when it comes to the stock selection process. Let us start with a simple example as detail, right? So we start with a particular stock based on what the company is. So as you can see, the company is based in chemicals, right? And it comes under the process industries. If you scroll down on TradingView, you can read and have a little more information in terms of what it is about, right? So D-Dave Plastic Industries engages in the manufacturing of polymer compound, right? And the company was founded in December 7, 2020, and is headquartered in Kolkata. So you have a basic, assumption of what the company is. It is in the process industries, and it is into the chemical industries as well, right? As we had mentioned, it engages in the manufacture of polymer compound. Now, based on this information, then we go back and we try to analyze it from a perspective of performance. I hope people can see my mouse right here. Now, just an overall gist about how the entire company has been performing on a yearly basis, on a monthly, on a semi-annual basis, on a quarterly basis, a monthly basis, a weekly basis, and a daily basis. So, as you can see, based on the year, it has been appreciating by almost 49.38%. And till year to date, right, as of this year, from Jan till November, it is sitting at a 61.76 appreciation in price, right? The last the semi-annual returns have been at 54.55. The 3 month has been a negative 22.93, and the reason for that has been this fall. I hope people can see the fall that has been taking place. This has been the major factor for prices to show a negative 22.93. Then on a monthly, right, based on monthly return, we're sitting at 2.7 with the weekly return, right? The weekly price appreciation by almost 12.28, right? Apparently, the quarterly earnings for this company had been showcased, and they have done phenomenal when it comes to breaking all barriers in terms of achieving all the targets that an investor or trader were looking for in this particular company. Now that we have got an overview, or just let us quickly go and see it from a fundamental perspective, right? A quick, then we will talk about the technical analysis aspects as well. Do not worry. Like I always keep mentioning to my customers and clients, when Harsh is here, there is nothing to fear. Sophia is writing, there are so many strategies. Correct, Sophia? We are trying our best to provide you with as many hot stocks as possible so that you can make good money, right? You just have to trust us, follow us, and believe that you can make money, because we are showcasing you that yes, you can make money by following Harsh, right? By following the strategies provided by Harsh. Now let's get back to the a quick view of the fundamentals, right? So let me just type DDAV. This is just to show you the structure as how the things are going. Then I will talk about the technical analysis, right? The main crux is the technical analysis. But a quick view of the fundamentals. So as I mentioned, it comes into the commodity chemicals. It's a small cap company, and these are some of its scores, right? Performance has been low, valuation has been quite high, growth is slightly on the lower side, profitability is high, correct? And no red flags, right? There is no problem in the management, in the structure, in the committee members of the company, right? That is of crucial importance, right? If a company has to perform well, you need to make sure that there are no internal disputes going on. When looking at the key metrics, you have to understand the P ratio is at 16.5, which is considerably good, right? When compared to the sector price to earning ratio of 31.56, you are getting a much better intrinsic value based on the P ratio. PB ratio of 4.53 when compared to the sector PB ratio of 3.56. So the price to book value is slightly higher, but nonetheless, these are the current values. When we look at it from an income point of view, since it is in the manufacture, it is in the process industry, correct? We need to see that its revenue should be increasing, on a year to year basis. So in the year 2023, the prices were at 2529. The revenue was at 2529, and it had slightly decreased for the year of 2024, with the trailing month of at 2441. In terms of earnings per share, it was at 18.29 in the year 2023, had fallen down for in the year 2024. Remember, we're talking when we're talking about FY 2024, we're talking from the month of Jan till the month of November, correct? We still have December. So that is how we utilize the trailing 12 month. The trailing 12 month will take into consideration the last 12 months, irrespective of the fiscal calendar. So we are sitting at 18.01, and the payout ratio has been also plus or minus at 0.09. Now, in terms of the balance sheet, remember we need to make sure that the assets are rising and the liabilities are falling. So, in terms of its assets, current assets, right? Assets it currently holds. For the year 2023, it's sitting at 671, but for the year 2024, it has appreciated to 748. In terms of liabilities, it was at 390 in the year 2023 and has fallen down to 30. So the liabilities are reducing and the assets are increasing, which is a good sign for the company. And in terms of its cash flow, the net change in cash flow was at 0.91 in the year 2023, but for 2024, it is appreciated by 69.81, which is very good for the company, right? Now, looking at the overall aspect, perspective of what the company's numbers are showcasing, we do find that yes, the company has, potential. The company has good numbers. Remember, we don't have to go deep into numbers to understand what, because we are not investors, we are traders, and traders are here to make money consistently. Investors who have a long term projection as to when should I enter now so I can hold it for 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, and then get more returns. Those are investors. Here we are looking for the best opportunities based on fundamentals and technical analysis, and then we are providing to you certain trading strategies, right? AKA hot stocks. Once we have done a quick due diligence of the fundamental analysis, that is when we get back to the technical analysis, right? Since the you can see the main focus for the third live streaming session is for us to provide you information and education pertaining to technical analysis, right? So let us quickly look at what prices have been showcasing for this. Just a quick review in terms of these were the entries that were provided on, like entry one was provided approximately on around 19th of September, with entry 2 at around 23rd of October, and entry 3 at 7th of November, which was yesterday. We have made good amount of money on entry 3 and entry 2. For people who had taken on entry 1, the average price is the orange dotted line, right? So people who were even who had taken entry 1, entry 2 and entry 3 are in positive, right? But for people who have taken the entries at 2 and 3 have been doing phenomenal. That is the reason we keep emphasizing that please attend all our live streaming sessions. Make sure that you are present for our live streaming sessions. And whenever Harsh is providing you with these live streaming sessions, especially the first and second live streaming session that takes place in the mornings, right? When the stock market is open, make sure to keep your trade account open, because as and how we provide you with trading opportunities, you have to be quick in taking when to enter, and in even knowing when to close your profits, when to close at what percentage. Nonetheless, looking at it, so this has been a summary of the entries. Now looking at it from a technical analysis perspective, right? Let me minimize the watch list so that we can have a clearer view. Now, just based on the swings of what the prices are showing on this particular time frame, the prices have definitely been having a bearish sentiment, right? Because prices are creating, one second, let me draw it again. So prices have been creating lower highs and lower lows, right? Let me change the color of the arrow. It's been bearish, and let me mark it as well. So we have lower lows and we have lower highs, right? So we have lower lows and lower highs. As you can see, it is clearly in the downtrend, right? Where price is creating lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? Somewhere, right? The price is currently at this particular area. Now, with prices, understand we are connecting as many dots as possible to get more information, information from different angles, so that we can, provide you with better opportunities. So once we have analyzed the swings and the overall sentiment on the daily time frame, we go to the 4 hour. Let's go to the 4 hour and see what else is, in this. As you can already see from the box drawn, it is coming to an area. Since prices are creating, one second, let me change the color. Since prices are creating lower lows and lower highs, right? So the prices are bearish. Now that the prices are correcting, we are getting prices at a discount. So something that was available to you at, for example, when price was around 11th of October, price was sitting at 329. By 30th or 31st of October, the prices from 300, from 320, 330 approximately has fallen to 275. You see, now prices are being discounted. The same company price was at 330 at the beginning of October, and it fell down to 275 by the end of October. So the value of the company is being, depreciated, as in you're getting a discounted value for the same price, or for the same value of the stock. And that is the reason, once prices, correct themselves, there is tendency for prices to retrace. We call this term as retracement. So the trend is bearish, price is creating lower highs and lower lows, and prices are correcting back. What is the overall sentiment that we are having overall in terms of the daily time frame and the 4 hour is still bearish? But since we have taken trades at cheaper prices, we can capitalize on such trades by taking entries at lower price and closing as in how we are making profits. So once we have understood this, we also try to look at it from indicators point of view. I already have the moving average. I hope people can see this. Let me change the color to purple. All right. Okay. As you can see, the moving average is nothing but the average of the last X number of candles, and X stands for period. How many candles you want to calculate, right? Based on the prices have closed above the moving average, and that also indicates that first the prices were below the moving average, indicating bearishness or bearish continuation. The moment prices cross above the moving average, that again indicates a flip in sentiment from bearishness to bullishness, right? And that is how prices are correcting. So we have been quite consistent in providing these entry areas. As for where prices can go to, we have clearly mentioned there is a very considerable amount of resistance right at around 325. So this is the area where we would be, wanting people to close their trades no matter what, because overall, based on technical analysis, the swing has been bearish. Now, let me use another indicator such as the MACD, right? MACD. People get confused with McDonald's, MACD, and the MACD indicator, right? Nonetheless, based on the 4 hours, the prices have, have converted from the negative phase to the positive phase. The histogram suggests how the markets are performing. If the markets are in the negative phase plane, when the color is red, there is generally bearish sentiment, right? As I hope people can see this. One second. When the markets are in the red phase, right? We call it as phase, 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 there will be bearishness. The moment prices enter into the green color histogram phase, the prices are bullish. And that is another reason we could see that prices have been, have flipped from the bearish phase to the bullish phase, and that is how prices are going. Please do understand one more thing, that as and how a histogram functions, we will have peaks, right? So the moment price comes to a particular peak as this, the prices are turning, right? For that previous time period, for 11th of October, once price reached to the peak of the positive phase, right, the bullish phase, the prices started to correct. I hope people can understand what I'm trying to say. So similarly, we are also expecting that prices are very well, at the peak of the bullish histogram positive phase. So people who have taken trades, make sure that maybe prices have potential to go till 320, maybe 325, but not more than that. We have resistance, correct, on the opposite side. Now let me look at it from a 1 hour perspective, right? Now from the view of 1 hour, it's plus or minus having this similar picture, right? Even the MACD is kind of at its peak already. The moving averages of the MACD are in the overbought section. The prices are rallying. So, but the anticipation of the prices reversing back down is also significant. So, people who have taken these trades, who are holding it, we will update you on Monday as to how the markets have, how the market dynamics have shifted, and we will update you on Monday as well. So this has been like an overall perspective when it comes to how we connect the dots, right? So when Sophia is asking how you could you elaborate on your stock selection logic, right? We look at the stocks from a fundamental perspective, which sector it falls into, and then we look at it from a fundamental analysis point of view, whether how is the cash flows performing, how is the statement, how is the revenue, how the assets increasing over time, are the liabilities decreasing over time, so on and so forth, right? Give me a minute. Remember, the third live streaming session, which takes place after the stock market has closed, is just to showcase how we, conduct a detailed analysis of providing you a hot stock. Now, people can ask, like, Harsh, how do you provide a hot stock? And this is the most elaborate answer that I have showcased you, right? How we looked at the fundamentals, how we looked at the technical analysis, and we connected the two, and that's how we provide you in terms of trading strategies, right? Now, people have to be aware that since the stock market is closed, and is that it? What dolphin markets provide? No, we have just entered into the Indian share market. Our major focus lies in the international markets, right? The forex, the gold, and CFD markets. People have been looking at gold and have been, asking in terms of what do you expect gold to do. Now, people have to be aware that prices of gold were escalating with an all-time high at around 2791, almost, right? It's not tested, but almost the 2800 mark. Let me just write it down. Almost tested the 2800 price level. Now, with prices being appreciating since so long, right? When I zoom out, the phase from which it started to appreciate, its bullish sentiment has started all the way from 6th of October. From the 6th of October to November, right? In terms of October and November, almost a month, based on uncertainty, right? Global uncertainty, based on FIIs putting funds or putting capital into gold markets. There has been good amount of appreciation in price, but with the current you can see the bear candle, right? This particular bear candle's reason has been because of the US elections, right? With Mr. Trump winning, right? With Mr. Trump winning, there has been a lot of focus on protectionism, right? What is protectionism? It's basically Mr. Trump implementing or focusing on policies that are towards, protecting the interests of the Americans, correct? People living in America, businesses of, which operate in America. So that is the reason, and with a lot of optimism in the US economy, right? As you could see on maybe on the S&P 500, we had mentioned about this, in our previous live streaming sessions, where we had informed if Mr. Trump gets elected. This has been before the elections, correct? We are talking almost at around 31st of October. So 5 days before the US elections, we were talking about what are the factors, how do we connect different, different markets, especially because the elections are taking place in the US. We were having a look at how the US index is performing, right? How the S&P 500 would perform. And we had also, there were a lot of analysts and a lot of, recommendations for people who were looking for to be bullish if Mr. Trump would win, and bearish if Mrs. Harris would have won. Since Mr. Trump has won, you can see there has been a significant shoot. Why is this important? Because this signifies optimism, right? Optimism in the US market. Trump is a huge advocate for protectionism, for uplifting the economy, for again winning or trying to attain the world power designation, right, that US holds. So there has been a lot of optimism in the markets. And if there is optimism in the markets, there is the opposite effect on gold. So there is always an inverse, not always, but on a majorly, on an average, right? So let me write it down. On an average, there is an inverse, correlation between gold and US. I'm talking about US, right? Because the elections had taken place in US, and US is a very important country when it comes to influencing the gold markets as well. So I hope people are able to understand. We try to connect as many dots as possible. So on an average, there is an inverse correlation. If the US indices go up, the gold will fall down, and if the gold go up, the US indices would have a similar. So hope I'm able to explain how I'm able to connect the dots to get an and a better understanding of what the markets are showing. There was a web page that I wanted to show you, and that was about this particular article, right? Gold corrects from target zones post the US elections. So the Trump administration's focus on deglobalization and trade protectionism could create significant uncertainty in the global markets, right? This uncertainty often brings gold as a safe haven asset. There have been, analysts out there who have been expecting that with uncertainty there should be a rise in price of gold, but currently based on the price chart. Remember, the price can never lie. The price is king. We technical analysts always refer uh, to the price chart as being the king. It showcases everything, right? Even in terms of, if you look at the values in terms of performance over the last year, the last semi annual returns, the last quarterly returns, and the monthly and weekly, the yearly is sitting at a 37%, right? 37.9, almost 38% appreciation of price. On 6 months, it's at 14.65. 3 months, it's at 10.83, with the 1 month being at 2.59. And this week, with Mr. Trump winning the US elections, we have a deficit of negative 2.02%, correct? This was something that I wanted to show you in terms of seasonality. Remember, yes, elections did have its impact on or did influence the gold market, but in terms of seasonality, I hope people can let me keep it simple. I hope people can see the red color line, right? The maroon color line that denotes the year 2023, right? So just looking at based on past year, there has been a correction. What do you mean by seasonality? Certain prices of certain products, they have a cyclic behavior. If they had performed in a similar fashion last year, there is general consensus, or what you call there is a higher probability that prices can repeat it in the next year as well, right? So based just on the last year, remember, with every year you have different factors that are being played. We did not have the US elections last year. We did not have the US elections the previous year. So this year we had the US elections, which takes place once in 4 years. But nonetheless, the overall consensus has still been, bearish, plus or minus, compared to the last year and the last to last year as well. But eventually, we would be expecting the prices to correct. So when you look at gold and you are seeing that yes, there has been fall in terms of price, that might be short-lived before the prices decide to continue back up again, right? So it can very well be a similar picture now. From where prices will turn, how will prices turn, we are going to be having our live streaming sessions, on a daily basis, right, from Monday till Friday. So do not worry. Like I say, when Harsh is here, there is nothing to fear. I will provide you with that information, with the information that is required as and how the markets are, updating themselves. telling about what the markets are going to do next month as of today does not make sense, especially when it is Friday, right? I just want to get to your attention that we at Dolphin Markets are providing to you, with money making strategies that you can follow us when the stock market is open, right? That is why we have the first and the second live streaming session. The third live streaming session is, for you to clarify the doubts or to make you understand technical analysis from a more deeper perspective. Sophia is writing, so will gold prices surge again in the later stage? That is what we would be expecting, right? Let me show you the example. I hope people are aware that when the elections had taken place, let me get that information for you. All right, let me just denote the lines. I hope people can see my screen, correct? Um, Let me zoom out and let me showcase you when the elections had taken place. So, when the last US elections had taken place, it goes back to the year 2020. So, around 3rd of November is right over here. Okay, give me a minute. I hope people can see my screen, right? I am showcasing you when the last elections had taken place. So, the last elections had taken place on 3rd of November. That is exactly over here. Let me zoom in and let me show you. This is exactly what had happened during impact on gold during last US elections. The impact on gold during the last US elections. The prices had had a similar fashion where prices fell only for prices to again correct back, right? Now, yes, the intensity of correction has not been that strong, but the prices have appreciated by almost 11%, and that is significant, right? 11% in almost 1 month, 30 to 35 days. So but this has been during Biden's when Mr. Trump was defeated by Mr. Biden, right, from the Democratic Party. Let me show you when Mr. Trump had won in the year 2020. It is very important to show you these because, again, based on seasonality, based on cyclical behavior of markets, such things happen, right? 3rd of November 2020. Oh, sorry, 2016. My bad. 3rd of November. We already covered 3rd of November. 2016. Let me just move the lines. 2016. Yeah, 3rd of November 2016. So as I hope people can see my screen, 8th of November. Sorry, 8th of November. This is 8th of November. Now, remember when Mr. Trump had won, Trump being a super nationalist, focusing more towards trade protectionism, where he wants the companies of USA to, become better, become significantly better compared to the other, you know, uh, companies and industries in other parts of the world by implementing tariffs, by being super pessimistic when it comes to about immigrants and just wanting the citizens of USA to be prioritized compared to the other people. When it comes to the gold markets, because there is so much of optimism in the US economy, right? The indices would be doing fantastically well during the tenure of Mr. Trump, and that is the reason prices did take time to correct. The prices had been following quite significantly, but like I say, with a fall in price, there will come a time when prices will again correct or reverse, right? So it took time, but the prices started to correct themselves as well. So yes, there might be phases, right? The entire movement or the entire time from the time Mr. Trump was elected to the downfall of gold has been by almost around 14% negative over a span of 41 days. So approximately a month and a month and a week, right? But so we can again, have a similar impact. The factors that were responsible for creating such movements have been different. 2016 had its own issues, had its own set of factors that were responsible for prices to move in that particular direction. The year 2024 has its own geopolitical uncertainties going on. A lot of FIs pulling out funds. So, and with the quarterly earning reports of many Indian companies not performing as expected by investors. So similarly, how the US elections have created a direct impact on the value of gold, but the factors are going to change. They cannot be the same. So if people are asking when Mr. Trump had won in the year 2016 and gold had fallen by almost 14 to 15%, will it do exactly the same? That is not sure. That can be uncertain. The factors were different in the year 2016, and the economic factors for 2024 are completely different as well. But nonetheless, even after a correction that might take place, we might have a good rally. Let me repeat it. We might have a correction taking place, but eventually the price of gold will rally. And why will the price of gold rally? Because gold is a safe haven, right? And with a lot of uncertainty going across the globe, with a lot of pessimism in terms of instability across the world, people will eventually shift back to gold. Okay, hope people are able to understand. Let me give you a quick recap in terms of how what was the entire context of today's live trading session. First and foremost, our live trading sessions are always here for you to understand and all to get clarity in terms of what exactly do we provide. We provide you value in terms of how to make money. When the stock market is running, we are providing you with hot stocks, right? Trading opportunities in the English share market, where you can copy our trades. You can follow us, you can take our hot stocks as recommendations and make money. We have been showcasing you consistently over the past 2 months, right? Less than 2 months, that we have been consistent in terms of performing. We have been able to generate a profitability of 135% over a span of 34 trades in less than 2 months. That is commendable, right? We have trades which are running as well, and as and how the markets will reopen back on Monday, I will keep you updated in terms of what has to be taken, what additional steps have to be taken. We have showcased you that yes, there is potential to make money in the stock market. And if you follow Harsh, if you follow dolphin markets and take the advice that has been provided to you, remember the advice, the trading hot stocks that we are providing to you as of now is of zero cost. It's free of charge. Now, why are people asking? A lot of people come back and they ask, Harsh, why is it free of charge? We are currently, marketing our company in the Indian segment, right? But and the only way that we can generate your trust, generate the trust of our Indian traders and investors is by showcasing what value we are able to provide based on the English share market. And if we are able to provide such valuable information, valuable profitability, right? Valuable information in terms of making money in the Indian share market, we can provide you with much better service in the international markets. Remember, dolphin markets, though we are entering into the Indian markets, we have been well established internationally, right? We have been well established in Hong Kong, in Australia, and in the United Kingdom. So we already have a lot of experience and expertise when it comes to the international markets. And our philosophy at Dolphin Markets remains quite simple. We want you to make money in the Indian share market, and we want you to make money in the forex market as well. We want you to make money both sides, correct? That is the reason we are providing you with hot stocks when the markets are running. Once the market closes, as of now, this current live trading session is taking place after the markets, once the markets have closed. And that is where we showcase you from a technical analysis perspective. Remember, Harsh is more of a technical analyst, so I have a good amount of information when it comes to looking at charts, analyzing how certain stocks or how certain indices or maybe forex pairs as well as gold pairs, how we analyze them from a fundamental analysis point of view, and then we look at it from a thorough technical analysis point of view as well, right? We had covered the example of D-Dave, where we had explained everything in terms of the fundamentals, showcasing it has good numbers. Then we looked at the technicals. The technicals were showcasing that prices happen in a bearish swing, but nonetheless prices are correcting. We had used several indicators as moving average. Then we had used moving average, convergence, divergence. We try to connect as many dots as possible to show you that where are certain areas where prices can go to, and where are certain areas where prices can again reverse from, potential areas, correct? Then we talked about how gold is currently having its um, how gold is currently having a bearish sentiment. And the reason for that bearish sentiment is because of the optimism in the US economy, correct? With Mr. Trump being elected as the president of United States of America, there is optimism in the US markets, and that showcases that people want to invest in the economy. Now, if people want to invest in the US economy, they have to pull out funds from the gold markets, right, to invest. Remember, the economy functions on the economy functions based on capital that has been transferred from one sector to the other, right? From one industry, from one sector to another industry or to another sector. With optimism in the US economy, there will be, an inverse relationship based on gold, right? And that is exactly what we are seeing right now, as I had showcased you on the previous two elections when Mr. Biden had won from the Democratic Party in the year 2020, and when Mr. Trump had won in the year 2016, right? How prices have reacted based on seasonality. I hope people can see this. We explained it from a seasonality perspective that during the tenure of the beginning of November, there is generally a bearish sentiment when it comes to gold. So prices have been following the sentiment. Prices have been following the cyclical nature of the gold markets. And we looked at the relationship between how both the pairs are being affected. If the indices go up, the gold markets will go down, and they have an inverse correlation. So I hope I've been able to provide you with good amount of information. Please make sure to again come back on Monday, right? We hold our live streaming sessions from Monday till Friday. I personally provide you with 3 live streaming sessions. Make sure to attend all our live streaming sessions. If you are a person who is here to make money, because I'm pretty sure everyone is attending this live streaming session with the aim of making profits, with the aim of making money. So please be sure to stay tuned, to keep attending our live streaming sessions, to keep attending Harsh's live streaming sessions. And I will do my best in terms of providing you with money making opportunities, as well as providing you with analysis and education as well. All right. So I hope everyone had a good understanding of today's session. Remember, like I always say, when Harsh is here, there is nothing to fear, right? When Harsh is here, there is nothing to fear. All right, I would like to conclude today's live streaming session. I wish everyone has had a great day, and I wish everyone a very, very beautiful evening and a prosperous and a happy weekend as well, right? So go have fun with your family, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, children, grandchildren. Make the best use of your weekend, and I will see you back on Monday, right? Until then, namaste and take care. Bye bye.